Hey guys, Tarke here. I know Good has already made a video on this and a bunch of other streamers have also been doing this, but I've been getting a lot of questions about my Delve Fossil Farmer that I've been slowly collecting gear for in the SSF. So I just thought I'd quickly explain how it works. The core concept, very simply, is have more regeneration than you have life and or energy shield. People generally do this with energy shield because it's very easy to have very low energy shield at a very high level. You then want to use either a Pathfinder or a Scion, because Pathfinders and Scion have flask recovery. So you can spam your, completely empty your flask without killing any monsters, and your flask will self-regenerate through the Pathfinder node, Nature's Boon, or Pathfinder Scion. So when you combine all of this together, you then get a build which can run very quickly in the darkness and doesn't die, which is pretty powerful. Now, to make the build tanky so you can survive monsters and not die while you're, running around with only 7 life, you want to use Phase Run. Now, Phase Run gives you more movement speed, and the most important thing about Phase Run is it gives you the 80% reduced visibility to enemies. Now, I'm SSF, so I can't do the fully optimized version. If you're not an SF, you want 2 Ichimonjis. Now, Ichimonji is actually the only Corsair sword, unique, so I've been chancing these. I'm going to try and get 2 of them. Now, these give you 10% increased effective buffs. This makes Phase Run more effective, so not only does it give you more movement speed, but it also takes that reduced visibility and scales that as well. I'm actually considering eventually, if I get a second one, doing a dual Ichimonji, either Righteous Fire or Death Source character for mapping with and actual delving. And basically you have a character which doesn't need to press any buttons because it uses either Death Source or Righteous Fire. So it does all this damage by just running around, meaning you never break the Phase Run buff. And that way you'll have a 96% reduced visibility by enemy monsters while you're just killing them, which is obviously pretty powerful. So that's something I might eventually get around to if I get a second Ichimonji. Now, to make this even more effective, because obviously there's still a chance enemies can see you if your Phase Run falls off, and you're not completely invisible, you have 96%. You can then stack additional things on top, like either a Blasphemy Enfeeble or a Blasphemy Temp Chains. You can do stuff like, have some dodge or do acro, phase acro. But this is mostly something that people mess around with on softcore characters. You could do this in hardcore, but then if you're doing this in hardcore, make sure you have as much curse effectiveness as possible. Have a bunch of, temp chains and feeble goodness going on, and have enough duration that your Phase Run will definitely never fall off. Because this character isn't optimized at all, my Phase Run does actually briefly fall off for a millisecond. So during that time window, this character can die. If I had a couple of regrets and I took both of the duration nodes on the tree, then absolutely no problem. But as you can see, the main reason you play this character is to just run around to pick up all the good loot. Now, there's some discussion on whether or not you should blow up walls. So if you blow up walls and you get the loot behind them, they recently buffed the loot behind the walls, right? So what happens is, if you do that, then you can potentially get some of the really cool new, fossils that are behind there. You can get league-specific uniques. However, if you don't blow up the walls, then the loot respawns. So what this means is you can, run all the mines that you currently have unlocked, and then if you die, because, you fuck up or something hits you, you can then just spawn back into the same spot and run through again. Now, the loot is randomized. It's not like you could find, a tier 1, fossil and just keep farming the same fossil. It's all completely random, right? So it's all kind of up to whatever. I've been told different things about, if this is intended or not. I've been told that GG says this is intended and they're aware of it. I've been told that people have said that it isn't. Until we get, an official one way or another, I don't really know. Because with a lot of these things, it's you ask support a question and then they're do this or don't do this. If you're very worried about it and you want to be 100% ethical, then you can do this, but blow up walls so you're not chain respawning stuff. The whole running around in the darkness, that's intended. That's fine. The fossil farming, that's intended. The only thing which is a little bit questionable is the resetting walls or not. But yeah, basically that's the core concept of how the thing works. And again, a lot of people have been doing this. This isn't a new thing, but a bunch of my viewers kept asking about it, so I figured I would record a brief kind of TLDR. But yeah, so we can then spawn back into that exact same point because we died then, and everything would have respawned because we didn't blow up any walls. Now, sometimes Delve likes to bug out, so you gotta like reset the zones and whatever. It's a bit iffy. If you really, really want to min-max this in like a trade league environment, you can get a bunch of movement speed based jewels as well, and then just stack all the additional movement speed, but very easy things to use, you know, Queen of the Forest, Devotee's Devotion, you know, 7 League Steps, stuff like that. Basically, get a bunch of movement speed, get a bunch of fast to give you movement speed, play Scion, play Pathfinder, pick up stuff up, and don't really take much damage. Anywho, I'm Tarke, and that's how that works, so you guys can stop asking me how that works. Bye-bye.